While I haven't been sold on PIXY's title tracks thus far, last year's B-side turned English language single Bewitched hinted at a more beguiling sound. By dabbling in dynamic electronic textures, PIXY found a niche worth exploring further. So, when teasers suggested new single Villain might build on this momentum, my interest was piqued. Opening with the tagline "PIXY has been reborn," Villain is clearly designed as a new stage in the group's career. With this in mind, the song succeeds in giving them a not too drastic makeover. Its best moments are quite strong, but I wish the producers tightened up the structure just a bit. The opening verse is a great example of this. The melody has a fun looping quality, hypnotic like an incantation. But before we reach the prickly chorus, the song plunges into a needless moment of inertia. The momentum slows to a crawl as we wait in instrumental murk for a few bars. This is disorienting in an unsatisfying way. Luckily, Villain writes itself during its chorus and never looks back. From here, the track finds an addictive electro groove, creeping along with glee. The hook has a glitchy appeal, unsettled but super focused in its melodic intention. The second verse is even stronger, bringing a heavy dose of funk that keeps the energy high. And rather than sink back into that murky interlude we heard after verse 1, the production remains brisk. This proves a much better setup for chorus 2. Villain climaxes in a chanted version of its central melody, bringing this musical rebirth to a fun conclusion. Like most new K-pop groups, DRIPPIN debuted without a signature sound or concept. Their career has been a revolving door of styles as Woollim searches for the one that will stick. The group is now lodged in a multi-part series of albums under the title Villain. Like 99% of their peers, this has painted them in an edgier light. But January's title track was pretty strong, and new single Zero enlists the ever-reliable new type production team. So many K-pop tracks of 2022 have carried a big rock influence, but Zero may just be the balsiest example. Its distorted guitar is a near-constant presence, fueling the track with mighty texture. And Zero doesn't skimp on the details. It feels like a whole meal of a song, moving through a hearty two-part chorus, a standout bridge and spiky rap verses. This isn't the style I would have envisioned for DRIPPIN, but they pull it off with flair. From the outset, Zero feels as if it's going to fall in line with the majority of 2022 boy group tracks, all puffed up chests and meaningless boasts. But after verse 1, the song catapults into a standout pre-chorus where leader Yeonseong does his best 90s idol impression. His vocal is so clear here, bursting with the power that used to define idol groups like HOT and Shinhwa. From here, Zero moves into a strong chorus. Its first refrain uses text painting to create plenty of movement before transforming into a secondary hook that quickly becomes the song's calling card. These elements forge together to create an exciting climax, as guitar shreds and the beat becomes fiercer. It's a ton of big, bombastic fun and a welcome June surprise.
Come on, come on. 지금부터 make me feel so high. 나를 말리지 마. Play dumb 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 diggy dumb. 날 구해줘. 넌 알게 된 순간 정신이 나갈 것 같아. 미치게 간 거야.
Sometimes I forget ex-Snooper member Sebin is part of Omega X revisiting 2016's K-pop releases yesterday. I realized yet again how desperate I am for some Snooper-esque sweet tune pop in 2022. Quick, Get Sebin on the phone with his old collaborators and work out a deal. After all, Omega X's agency has opted to switch concepts for the release of their first full album. But while its sonic palette has brightened, Play Dumb could do with a hearty injection of melodic hooks. Like most of their work so far, Play Dumb is polished but lacks a unique musical perspective. It gallops through many established bright boy group tropes, including 17-esque funk stabs and plonky hip-hop beats. You can even find an outdated skirt if you listen hard enough. While the overall effect is jovial enough, Play Dumb never lands a killer punch. That's the thing about these bright K-pop tracks. They're not successful solely because they're energetic and fun. The best examples are highlighted by a robust series of hooks and melodies. Play Dumb conforms to expectations, and its chorus is more melodic than pre-release teasers suggested. But in the end, the song doesn't offer many memorable turns. The pre-chorus is probably its strongest moment, building on the group's vocal skills to craft a buoyant hook. I'm less enthused by the chanted dum-dum post-chorus. It's meant to be playful and rowdy but comes across as obnoxious. Thankfully, Play Dumb's brisk energy carries the day and the track floats by on its good vibes. It won't ever be top of my playlist, but it's a fine enough effort as we head into summer.
널 이젠 나 전무한한 우주의 공간이 열릴 때면 아예 저 파랗고 파랗던 하늘에 흩날려줘 끝내 지키지 못한 약속과 무뎌진 마음과 어느 밤 blue sky.
BDC continue to be a mystery. They're not listed as a temporary project group, but their treatment thus far has suggested a quickly approaching expiration date. Despite releasing the super solid Intersection trilogy of mini-albums, brand new music has never attempted to push them as a big, ongoing group in the same way as AB6 and, more recently, Unite. BDC's newest release, a ballad album, further cements this worry. Idle ballads don't automatically portend hiatus, but they're not the kind of release an agency funds to grow a group's fan base. Blue Sky is a stark piano ballad, putting all its focus on the guy's vocals and a sentimental melody line. It's a lovely track, but feels like the final song on an album filled with bangers, the kind of thing a group might whip out a cappella during a stop at Yuhuiel's sketchbook. It does a nice job showcasing this trio's skills, even if the song never builds toward one or two knockout moments in the way many great OST ballads do. In the end, tracks like Blue Sky are difficult for me to review. I just don't listen to this style of ballad unless it's part of a great album or has some special element that pulls me in. I can't fault Blue Sky. It does what it says on the tin. I'm a fan of the melody and really enjoy the symphonic elements that emerge midway through. But I'm much more likely to go back to Moonrider for the umpteenth time than close my eyes and let Blue Sky sentiment wash over me.